Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Morning, everybody. Welcome back. April 2nd, so you don't have to worry about people trying to trick you all day. We've got 9 voicemails today, so I will get to those in a few minutes because that's going to take a minute. But I had a few opening thoughts that I wanted to hit you with because even though the Yankees lost last night, I did think there were some positives that, we should talk about, we should mention in case you missed the game. The Yankees actually played a commendable game outside of the bullpen. The young guys carried the load offensively. Will Warren had the best start of his major league career, in my opinion. That's hopefully going to get his confidence going. I believe his next start is against the Pirates, and he should be able to beat the Pirates. Maybe get that first W. Looks like the Martian is beginning to heat up, and when he gets hot, he gets blistering hot. We saw it when he first got called up. We've seen it in spring training. We've seen it in the minor leagues. There is streaky, and then there is streaky. When he is hitting the ball well, he goes on fire. So he's going to be part of my NostraDerek prediction in a few minutes. Also, you might notice I'm wearing my Top Gun shirt. I wanted to give a shout out to Val Kilmer, one of my favorite actors who passed away at age 65. I just watched another movie that he's in called Heat, old Michael Mann movie from the 90s where he plays one of the guys on De Niro's crew. Yeah, and I was just thinking about him when I was watching that. I was like, man, he was sick last time I saw him. He didn't look great in Top Gun Maverick. I wonder how he's doing. And then, unfortunately, we got the news this morning that he passed away. Same thing happened when I was watching a movie called Clear and Present Danger with James Earl Jones. Last year, I was thinking, James Earl Jones is getting pretty old. And then he passed away like the next day. I hope I'm not subconsciously killing people. I hope I'm not causing this, but all right, let's talk about Carlos Rodon. Speaking of serial killers, bearded Carlos Rodon back on the mound tonight. And I'm psyched because I feel like we saw a major step in his evolution on opening day. It would have been easy for him to let his emotions and the pomp and circumstance and all that kind of take control. We've seen that a few times in his career where he gets so excited that he uses up all of his energy and doesn't pace himself. We saw it in the postseason once, maybe twice. But I felt like he maintained his composure, his poise, and more importantly, he took a step in an evolution as a pitcher, right? He was throwing more sinkers, he was throwing more changeups, and that's going to make him more dangerous. Because he still has a plus fastball and he still has a plus slider. There's this stat called Stuff Plus. It's one of those analytic nerdy stats. And he's one of the better pitchers in baseball when it comes to Stuff Plus. He could sneakily be a Cy Young contender if he continues to mix in the full bag of tricks, the changeup, the sinker. And it's a good lineup that he's facing tonight. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. And again, I'm going to be watching on playback with the Foul Territory guys, and then Terrence Kem will be on the show tonight. We'll have a little 2-person post-game show and back to the solo post-games tomorrow. All right, let's move on and talk about the positives from last night. So the main takeaway this season, other than Aaron Judge looking like he's going to go home run crazy, is that we're getting some young guys to contribute. I think it's going to be good for their confidence. We talked about Warren. He had some swag. He finished off the night with, a big out in a key spot, and he was pumped up. Dominguez continues to look better. His body language to me seems much more like it was in 2023 when he was playing carefree and loose when he first got called up at age 20 than it did last year when he got called up and he was trying to take that spot from Verdugo after working his way back through the minor leagues, coming back from elbow surgery. I thought the left-handed at-bats have been superb this year. Obviously, power last night. I think that from the right side, he's got a long way to go, but at least he's patient. Ben Rice, we'll talk more about him on the Inside Edge report, but another home run last night off a tough lefty. A tough lefty. And this is another guy who keeps having good at-bats. he is forcing the pitcher to come to him. He's not chasing. And that's been a consistent thing in his career, actually. Will Warren, I thought his sweeper was filthy. I thought the sinker that he was throwing was good. Next start against the Pirates. So, I feel good about that. Let's move on to the Inside Edge scouting report about Ben Rice. He has not hit a ball to the left side in 8 games. That is dating back to last season. As I take a sip of coffee, he's pretty much become a pull hitter at this point. And there's nothing wrong with that if you play at Yankee Stadium as a lefty. As long as you can elevate, which he is doing, and as long as you hit the ball hard and don't chase out of the zone, there's nothing wrong with creeping up on that plate and becoming a hook hitter. That's what Rizzo tried to do, and he had some success early on, but was not able to continue it as he got, a little bit longer in the tooth. He has not chased a changeup out of the zone since August 30th last year. You can't fool him with a changeup. You just can't do it. He's chased just 7% of pitches out of the zone on low pitches. He's not going to chase. He's going to make you come to him. And then he has an OPS of 1.745 this season, which is third best among hitters with at least 6 plate appearances. I'm not sure why my text is... I'm going to try a few things here with the text here. I hate to do it live, but we're going to do it live. I've been working with this format, and for whatever reason, it was not wrapping correctly. So we're going to fix that just because it's bugging me. Okay, there we go. Now it's wrapping, and now everything looks right. Okay, so Ben Rice, obviously, the metrics say that he's been very patient. He's forcing the pitcher to come to him, and so far the results have been really good. Dante Lozada says, I am glad they kept Rice. Me too. I'm surprised that he's been able to improve as much as he had. Last year, he had a huge hole in his swing, and he has eliminated that. Spinning Mantis says, Stanton had 233 average, 27 home runs. I think Rice could do that. He's well on his way, the way he's swinging the bat. All right, NostraDerek Prediction time. And NostraDerek is 2 for 2 on the season. All right. So I'm doing 2 predictions today. So I'm going over 5.5 strikeouts from Carlos Rodon. I think that just the way his stuff looked in the first game, 6 to 7 strikeouts tonight, probably 5 2/3 innings, maybe 1 or 2 runs. But 5.5 strikeouts from Rodon. And I'm taking the over on extra base hits for the Martian. 0.5 extra base hits. I'm saying he's going to get an extra base hit, whether it's a double, whether it's a home run. Like I said, when he gets hot, he stays hot. And he gets real hot. So I'm counting on that continuing tonight. Zach Gallen is a guy who doesn't throw overly hard. He likes to rely on command, but his command has not been great this year. I think Dominguez is seeing the ball well. So good night for him offensively tonight, and Carlos Rodon with 5.5 strikeouts. So we'll see how that shakes out. And then it's time for your voicemails. But first, quick word from our morning sponsor, True Classic. I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor, True Classic. If you're looking for clothes that don't break the bank and actually fit, True Classic is the move. I am wearing a True Classic shirt right now. Since they sent me a package of them, I've been wearing them pretty much nonstop because they're so comfortable. They're light. They fit well. As you can see, they form to the body well. I've lost a bunch of weight lately, and I just needed some transitional clothing, and they came along at the perfect time. They have long sleeves. They have short sleeves. It's great for taking a walk, for when you go to the gym, or when you're just hanging around the backyard with your dog. So whether you are layering up and getting ready for winter, or trying to relax and enjoy the cool breeze in the springtime or the summertime, True Classic is the way to go. Visit trueclassic.com/stripe. trueclassic.com/stripe and elevate your wardrobe today.
What do you hear? What do you say?
All right. Definitely elevate your wardrobe with True Classic. All right, we're going to take some voicemails here. This first one is from Eddie in Florida.
Yes, good morning, Derek. This is Eddie down here in Florida. Little comment on last night's game. You know, that eighth inning where everything fell apart for the Yankees, that should have been Weaver's inning, okay? And that should have went 1, 2, 3. And our great closer, oh boy, you know, this guy hasn't done anything this year. And where is he?
He
He's
wasn't even
gone.
there.
He's on parental leave or what do you call it? Paternal leave. My God, when I was a young guy, they didn't do this. You know, they had some dedication to their team. They weren't going to let their team down. And if there was a baby being born, they'd get there, you know, to go see it, whatever. But that was the woman's job. And the men's job was to win a game. And this guy hasn't impressed me, this new closer, at all. Okay.
Okay, so first of all, that's just such an old-fashioned take, and it sounds like you're an old dude, so, I'll forgive you. But, I mean, it's a different world. You can't blame a guy for wanting to be with his family. He missed a game in April. Come on. He's having, a child. Come on. That's way more important than a baseball game. Way more important. And to say it's a woman's job, I mean, what if his woman is having a tough time? We don't know his situation. Very uninformed take.
Hi, Derek. It's Stephen calling from Italy, where I'm watching the first game between the Yankees and the Diamondbacks, recorded the next day on MLB TV because it's on too late for me here by the time zone to watch live. And currently it's 2-2. Volpe just hit a home run. And I wanted to point out that we have Dominguez, Volpe, Rice, Cabrera, Wells, and our starting pitcher Will Warren, all, basically from our farm clubs. And they're the starting lineup and the starting pitcher holding their own against a very good team that was, after all, pennant winner just a year or two ago. So people should not be underestimating how good the Yankee farm system is, after all. Anyway, thanks for, as always, a great show. I watch it every day, although usually the next morning. And so you're international. Bye.
Well, I appreciate that. That's a wonderful thing to say. Thanks for the call. I'm loving what we're seeing from the young guys. The one thing that worries me about Volpe is that he does seem to have gone into home run or nothing mode as a hitter. He's clearly trying to jack the baseball out of the ballpark. I liked the Volpe that we had for the first 3 months last year where, remember he was getting on base every single day. He had a 34 game on base streak. He was hitting around 290 at one point, and the, on base percentage was over 300, probably like 320 for a while. He was stealing bags, doing his thing on the bases. I felt like that was the best version of Volpe as a player. But the Yankees value OPS, and they value guys who can hit the ball out of the ballpark. And he clearly has the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. 21 home runs as a rookie. They lost 9 home runs from his spot in the order last year. They've lost Juan Soto this year, so they clearly said to him, hey, look, we need you to make up for some of that home run total that we lost. You figure you're getting more home runs out of first base from Goldie over Rizzo. You're getting more home runs in left field from Dominguez over Verdugo. Shortstop is an area where you can add a little bit more power and kind of try and rebuild Soto in the aggregate, as they say in Moneyball. But you're not going to rebuild the on-base percentage. Much easier to rebuild the power. So that's the route that it appears they're going. They gave him the torpedo bat, and they said, get up there and swing the hell out of it. And that seems like what he's doing. He's just swinging as hard as he can, and when he makes contact, he's crushing it.
Hey, Derek. It seems to be that Josh Naylor is shaped like a South Park character. All right, that's all.
Yeah, I don't like looking at Josh Naylor. I find him unsettling to look at. There are certain human beings where just looking at them, I mean, and I might be one of them to some people, but I look at Steve Buscemi and his face, it makes me recoil. I look at Josh Naylor's body and I feel the same way. I'm like, ugh.
Just wanted to bring up, hey Derek, I just wanted to bring up something from the game last night. I really don't think Pablo Reyes should have been pinch hit for there. Oswaldo Cabrera, you could just see his stats. He's hitting about like 280, and then you can see that Pablo Reyes hitting about 180. I feel like Oswaldo Cabrera should have been left in there. I like Waldo there better than Pablo Reyes. And Pablo Reyes.
All right, appreciate the call. So we had a couple of calls there. People do not like seeing Pablo Reyes pinch hit for Oswaldo Cabrera, and I 100% agree with you. I don't want to see Pablo Reyes anywhere near the baseball field. Not while dressed in a Yankees uniform. He wants to watch a game from the stands, that's fine. Hell, he wants to sit and watch it from the bench. For now, that's fine. But he can't play third base, can't hit. I mean, he had a good spring, right? But I just don't see it. I would much rather see Oswaldo get the at-bat right there, or even Oswald Peraza. I mean, he had a home run the other day in his only at-bat. Facing a lefty, they don't like Oswaldo from the right-hand part of the plate, but Peraza can swing the bat from the right side of the plate better than Reyes, at least in my estimation. Yeah, I totally agree with all the callers, all the commenters who had an issue with that. That's Boone going by, I guess, the binder there, but the binder is wrong. It's wrong. You got to stick with Oswaldo or go with Peraza there.
Derek, Bobby the Bear in Atlanta.
Bobby the Bear.
Yankees lost. Hey. Anyway, what is going on with Jazz? Why is he so streaky? Maybe we should hold off on the extension until we'll see what he does in the playoffs. 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. What's that called again? Is it platinum sombrero?
Golden sombrero.
Anyway, here's my question. I want to know your opinion on who's the least likely of getting 30-30.
Least likely.
Jazz, Volpe, or the Martian? Who is the least likely player in getting 30-30? I know what everybody else is going to pick. I want to know which player you're going to pick. Later, dude.
That, first of all, Bobby the Bear, that is a great, great call because that's a tough question. Golden sombrero is 4K and platinum sombrero is 5 strikeouts. So he got the golden sombrero. I want to touch on the Jazz thing before we get to your question about Volpe, Dominguez, and Jazz. I wouldn't worry about one game from Jazz. He has been hitting the ball out of the ballpark. He's been swinging the bat well. I think what you're seeing is a guy who's gotten a little bit into pull mode, and he was kind of pulling off last night against tough pitching. You can't do that. Hopefully tonight against Zach Gallen, who doesn't have the same kind of velo, he can get back to hitting the way he was against the Brewers. Okay. Justin says, I said that wrong. He said, it's called trying to hit against good pitching. Yep. It was good pitching last night. Now, this is a great question. The least likely, I would say Jazz is probably the most likely because he's already got 3 home runs and we know he stole 40 bags last year. So if he stays healthy, he's going to get there. But health has not always been a given for him. So I think Jazz probably the most likely. I think Dominguez is super aggressive on the bases, more so than Volpe. Volpe's a good base runner and he's got good speed, but he doesn't seem quite as aggressive as Dominguez. And I think Dominguez has more power, hitting from the left side more often. He's going to have, an advantage at Yankee Stadium. Doesn't have to hit the ball as far. And I just think he's a better hitter already than Volpe. Just watching the two, I just think he has better swings, more controlled swing, more patient. So I would say the least likely is Anthony Volpe. I could see Anthony Volpe just realistically 240 average, 310 on base percentage, 25 home runs, and good defense. Just from what we've seen so far, that would be my estimation. And again, things can change. He could go red hot. He can get ice cold. But that's where we're at. So that's a great question, Bobby the Bear.
Hi, Derek. My name is Leo, and I'm from Nebraska and the Yankees. They're kind of missing that left fielder spot. Do you think they could maybe go off after Max Kepler?
Appreciate the call. So I I don't think they're missing the left field spot. I think Dominguez is filling in left field perfectly as a rookie. I can't see them going out and getting Max Kepler. I just don't see that. Appreciate the call.
Well, we're probably going to have 55 plus more of those losses.
That's optimistic,
not just
Brian.
That's not going to be the first, won't be the last, or it is the first, won't be the last. Well, you got to say, it's just confusing why they still feel the need to tap somebody like a Leiter in the 8th inning. I know we got Devin Williams out, but why would they not put someone who's as electric as, like, Fernando Cruz in the 8th inning and Al Leiter in the 6th inning? I feel like that was totally backwards. Obviously, they were trying to save the weave dog there to save the game. Understand that. But Al Leiter isn't. He's not an 8th inning guy. There's no way.
Leiter?
And you just saw how dominant Fernando Cruz looks out there in general, and we all kind of knew that in the off season. Seeing the dude's strikeout numbers are just incredible, almost 2 strikeouts an inning type of player, and he showed that literally tonight. I think 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. So why not put that guy in the 8th inning, especially when we're down D-Will? I am not sure, and I feel like that was obviously a little bit of a mistake. Like I said, first loss of many, but you hate to see the ones that you're winning in the 8th inning and you end up blowing that game. Those ones sting a little bit more.
Bullpen meltdowns are the worst, man. That's why I couldn't stand Clay Holmes. But I agree with you. I think Mark Leiter earlier in the game, but they were going with Cruz in a high leverage spot, and Cruz was phenomenal last night. That splitter was disgusting. But I agree with you. You want to get progressively more nasty out of the bullpen rather than go super nasty and then not as nasty and then try and get nasty again. Losing Devin Williams last night kind of hurt because you couldn't go to Weaver in the 8th inning. You had to save him for the 9th.
Hey, Derek, this is John from New York. I love the idea. I know it's early. I love the idea of having re-signing Belly and going and getting Kyle Tucker. Like I said, I know it's early. I know numbers aren't what they're going to be at the end of the season, but just having the idea of those guys in a lineup, this offense would be high-powered. I know we got to do something about pitching, but just having Belly and Tucker in the same lineup along with Judge and a healthy Stanton, if he comes back, what you think? Thanks, man. Take care.
You know, it's going to be interesting how it works out because if you get Belly and you get Tucker, okay, and you still got Judge, where's the Martian go? Does the Martian become your DH? If so, where does Stanton go? He's still getting paid $52 million over the next 2 years after this year. Where does Ben Rice go? Does Ben Rice go back to first base? That's possible. I could see Ben Rice being the first baseman next year. I could see Judge moving to first base at some point, and you put Bellinger back in right, put Dominguez in center, or you put Dominguez in right and keep Bellinger in center, or Tucker in right. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can go with that. I do think it would make the lineup much better, but I think it creates a logjam, especially if Ben Rice is going to hit. And you're not going to not get Tucker because you want to, keep Ben Rice, right? But Stanton does kind of block you from some of the things that you'd like to do with that DH spot. I would love for Judge to eventually become the DH or the first baseman. I think he'd be an awesome first baseman, big target. Some people don't think that he's stretchy enough. We don't really know how that would play out. I'd be fine with him being a DH, a slugging DH for the last 5-6 years of his career, hit your 55 to 60 home runs every year, stay in the lineup. I don't think he likes being a DH, though. Now, Tucker, I do think would be an awesome Yankee. And I mean, I expect them to go after him. I don't think they're going to go after Vlad. Vlad's a free agent. There's been talk of they'll go after either Tucker or Vlad. Right now, I'm leaning towards Tucker, left-handed hitter. But the Yankees do need some right-handed thump. We'll see how they approach the trade deadline. The Cubs would have to be out of it to move Tucker, but as a free agent, it'd be interesting to see what they do. Final call.
Hey there, Waleed calling again. Just a couple of comments about the stuff that's been going on so far this season, and a couple of things that I don't think anybody has ever brought up when all these so-called experts were assessing the Yankees and saying that the Red Sox were going to win the division, the Orioles. Somebody even said the Blue Jays were going to win the division, all because of Juan Soto. Yes, they lost Juan Soto. Yes, he's one of the best hitters. He's not even top 3 or 4 to me, but what nobody ever brings up is the fact that the Yankees also lost all these black holes that were in their lineup last year. Rizzo was a black hole. LeMahieu was a black hole. Verdugo was a black hole. Glaber for half the season was a black hole.
Yes.
They replaced all those zeros with Goldschmidt, with Bellinger, with Dominguez, with actually players that have some athleticism and that can actually put the ball in play. Nobody brought that up. All they care about is, they lost Soto, the offense is trash. They had garbage after Soto and Judge last year, besides Giancarlo Stanton and Glaber for half the year. Nobody brings that up. And the other stupid thing about these stupid torpedo bats, I'm sick of hearing it. It's one series. And the Brewers just got destroyed 11-1 today by Kansas City. Are they using torpedo bats too? Or do the Brewers pitching just suck?
Man, great call. That is a great call. I like him already. Great call. All right, so, yeah, I mean, I think that you're onto something with the Yankees being a more complete offense this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Goldschmidt does over the course of a full year. He's looked good so far. Bellinger's home run the other day was electric. I want to see more of that. And again, Dominguez, I'm really excited for him. And Ben Rice, we didn't talk about him. We told you how good he is according to StatCast, according to Inside Edge. Guy has some legitimate lightning in his bat. If he can make consistent enough contact, he's going to be a problem. All right, reminder, tonight we have the promo. Let me go ahead and put this up here. Watch party on playback. It says tomorrow. Let me fix that. It's actually tonight at 7 p.m. I didn't update this morning. Tonight, 7 p.m., I'll be on with Cameron Maben with Scott Braun. You can go to the app, or you can go to playback.tv/foul territory, and we'll be on for the whole game. And then obviously, because I'm going to be so busy during the game, I'm not going to be able to prepare the show like usual. So we're having Terrence Kem on for the post-game show, and we're just going to talk through the Yankees, state of the Yankees. I'll try and add, a little bit in there for you, but it's mostly going to be just conversation tonight. But, hey, we're trying to, mix it up, keep it fun. It's a long season, lots of ups and downs. Appreciate all the calls. And again, Yankees taking on the Diamondbacks tonight, game 2 of a 3-game set. Zach Gallen versus Carlos Rodon, making his Rodon Encore. And we'll see you hopefully at the watch party, but if not, after the game. Call into the voicemail, and we'll play them during the post game and for tomorrow's voicemail show. I'll see you next time. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.